It's week 7 in the NFL, and today on Fox, the first-place Bears against the 49ers is just your appetizer. That's because Fox's main course includes 2 dynamite divisional rivalries, the Vikings against the Bucs and the Saints and the Rams. Then later tonight, it's time for dessert. Game 2 of the World Series. Fox is your home for the very best in sports. As we welcome you to Studio 2A. Hello again, everyone. I'm James Brown, and welcome to Fox NFL Sunday. What are you chuckling about already?
I didn't have my thing in.
Oh, what else is new, right? We won't clarify that, Howie. Terry, Howie, and Chris. Baseball. I know you're a big baseball fan. Yeah. Kurt Schilling, awesome.
As if Kurt Schilling wasn't good enough. This year got better. Randy Johnson harped on him to work his off-speed pitches. Now they get Randy Johnson rested, throwing BBs.
Baseball's good, but Ray Charles and America the Beautiful tonight.
Oh,
Give him a little bit, TB.
Right. False spacious skies.
Forever. All right, folks. Hey, just in case you may be wondering, once again, we are in support of autism awareness, and that is exactly what this ribbon signifies here, autism awareness. All right, folks, time now for our Fox Watch, and we begin in Chicago. Both the Bears and the 49ers are 4-1. Now, while many will say, hey, wait a minute, who have they beaten? The bottom line is 4-1 is 4-1. Kenny Albert is calling today's game, and Kenny, believe it or not, after today, one of these teams, wow, will be 5-1.
One of them certainly will, JB. A beautiful 55-degree afternoon here in Chicago. And as you mentioned, 2 teams with 4-1 records, both with head coaches who are members of Mike Holmgren's coaching staff in Green Bay back in the early 90s, Steve Mariucci and Dick Duran. Now, the last time these teams met, last December, Jerry Rice's final home game as a 49er, his teammate Terrell Owens stole the show. He broke a 50-year NFL record, 20 receptions in the game, 283 yards in the 49ers' 17-0 victory. But today, Owens and his teammates go up against a dominating Bears defense on pace to allow fewer points than last year's Ravens. From Chicago, we send you to Tampa and Dick Stockton.
All right, Kenny, 1 month ago, the Vikings beat the Buccaneers, and Tony Dungy says if the Buccaneers are going to capture the NFC Central, this is a must-win. But he has some obstacles. Elusive running back Warwick Dunn out of action with a hamstring pull, as is wide receiver Jacquez Green. But on the defensive side, they are under siege because right now the Buccaneers have the lowest rating on that side of the ball since Tony Dungy has become head coach. And to shake things up, Donnie Abraham is being replaced at cornerback by Brian Kelly. As for the Vikings, who have won 3 out of 4, Randy Moss playing with a tender knee, missed practice, but he is ready to go. For the Vikings, who are 9-1 prior to the bye week, and they are off next Sunday. Right now, let's send you to St. Louis and Pat Summerall.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. And here in St. Louis, the Rams still the only unbeaten team. They entertain the New Orleans Saints today. Here are the Rams getting ready. Kurt Warner, their leader. He'll be without one of his top playmates today. Marshall Faulk again will not play. His place taken by Trung Candidate, who had a breakout game last week, 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. From the New Orleans viewpoint, Willie Roaf, the veteran leader and offensive tackle who has been so outstanding for so long. The latest word on him is he will not play today. Also, Ricky Williams, this is the first time he gets a chance to go against the Rams. He was out last year with injuries. That's the story from St. Louis. Back to you, JB.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And later today, some of you will see the ultra-conservative Giants battle the Redskins or catch Jake Plummer going for his 3rd win in 4 games. Hey, folks, that after Chris Collinsworth abused him on national TV. Clint Sterner starts at quarterback for the Cowboys. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on Fox. And, of course, Chris will get an opportunity to address that. Giants have lost 2 heartbreakers to the Rams and to the Eagles, but no one can complain about the defense led by the sensational play of Michael Strahan.
Yeah, but like in Tampa Bay, JB, if you go to the well one too many times with a defense, which the Giants have this year, in particular with their struggles on offense, Sean.
What about this one?
Well, that was last year. I think the problem this year is the Saints don't go deep enough in the secondary to cover all the Rams receivers. They're going to go 4 receivers, 1 running back with Kennedy. They're going to take it to the Saints this time.
Yeah, that's the main problem when you get in this defense. You go against this football team. You really run into a problem when you're dealing with this football team. You deal with the wide receivers down the middle of the field. Most teams go up the sidelines. They go down the middle.
But you know what? I think last year we all liked Aaron Brooks. In fact, before the year started, I thought he's going to be a factor. He's struggling with pass protection. They're letting him get sacked too much. Brooks not as good as he was last year.
Oh, I love the guy.
Oh, I do too.
You don't think he's going to have a big day today?
No.
Okay. Meanwhile, Minnesota against Tampa Bay. Doug Chapman will start at running back for the Vikings. Warwick Dunn is out for the Bucks. They've already met once this year, and Bucks looking for a split on the season series yet again.
I tell you, the Bucks are having a hard time getting in the end zone. Brad Johnson has got to do a better job of recognizing blitz and then making the adjustment to the blitz. He doesn't see some of these guys coming. He's getting killed.
Well, Tampa got snuffed last week against the rush by the Steelers, and they're worried about the pass this week because this week Brian Kelly is going to start for Donnie Abraham. It's Randy Moss. It's Dante Culpepper also running the ball.
Well, you're talking about Tampa Bay getting stuffed. Something's wrong. They're not as good as they have been on defense. 6 Pro Bowlers. They're still good, but they've lost their stinger, and I think the offense is hurting them. This will shock you. Their offense has the fewest rushing attempts in the league, and that hurts your defense.
All right, real quick, fellas. Top performers of the day statistically. Who will they be? Mike, you're first.
Torrey Holt, because in the past he has had great performances against the Saints. I think he's going to have a big one today.
I got a major upset for you, folks. Charlie Batch and the Detroit Lions. Watch him today.
And watch Curtis Martin. He's going against Carolina. Curtis Martin, he'll run all over him.
Curtis Martin, he leads the league in rushing. All right, thank you, fellas. Top performers. And for more, go to NFL.com for all the latest fantasy information. I'm at my favorite corner in New York, 21st in prime time. That is the home of Deion Sanders.
Hey, I hear this is the best corner still in New York City.
Nobody gets past that corner.
When I played, nobody came down this corner, so I got an opportunity to see everything. And what I'm seeing in St. Louis, you got a guy making a lot of noise, and it's not Marshall Faulk. Trong, is that his real name or his stage name?
Trong is the name, and maybe he's the real deal. Real name, real deal. What do you think?
23 carries, 195 yards last week, 2 touchdowns. This guy is making some noise, but before you load up his bandwagon, Marshall Faulk is still the real deal. He's going to be the man to take him to the Super Bowl.
Candidate's got some speed. I know he's like a 4.2 guy. Sound familiar?
I ran that for breakfast, but even though this guy will make some noise, he may be a running back than Marshall Faulk, but Marshall Faulk is one of the best receivers in the game today.
Speaking of receivers, looking at the league at this point of the season, who's the best wideout out there you see right now?
At this point in time, Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens, you mean?
What is it with these guys? they make a few dollars, and they change their name. I remember when I was at Florida State, it was Leroy Butler. Now it's Leroy Butler. What is it with these guys? This guy, 6'3", 225 pounds. He runs a 4.3 40. The smaller defensive backs cannot stick with this guy.
What was Deion at Florida State? What did you go by?
I went by prime time.
Always prime time.
I never change.
Hey, what's up in Seattle? Hasselback's going to be the starter again today at quarterback after Dilfer came in 2 games and won a couple for him.
Coach Holmgren, what is it about you and this guy Hasselbeck? I believe there's some pictures that we're not seeing. This guy has a 49% quarterback rating, and he's still starting. Trent Dilfer, 13 consecutive starts, 13 consecutive wins, including the Super Bowl. I go with Trent Dilfer.
Well, Dilfer, maybe he'll see some action, but Hasselback will start later today against Miami. Thank you, Deion. And we're going to see you just a little bit later with your piece on the Eagles quarterback, Donovan McNabb. Also ahead, Leslie Visser catches up with Doug Flutie, who wants to show Buffalo he's still got the magic, but
much on his plate.
Oh, rough week last week. It was 1-3. 11 out of 13 underdogs won. I don't know if that ever happened before. It's certainly not supposed to. And on top of that, I can't enjoy the games. It's too complicated between my picks and my bets and my fantasy league. Last Sunday, I have Tampa Bay to beat the Steelers by a certain number of points, but not by so many points that the combined points are more than a certain number of points. Meanwhile, over my fantasy league, I have the Buccaneer defense, but I need Jerome Bettis to score at least 1 touchdown to win the game that week. So I don't know who I'm rooting for. Meanwhile, Bill Cowher used to live next to one of my mother's second cousins, so I've got to root for him. I'm supposed to have fun watching football. Instead, I have a headache. This fantasy league is killing me. All right, excuse me. I'm trying to make a trade with some of the guys in my league. All right, what do you want to do?
Well, I can give you Marcus Tuiasosopo and Chris Famata Matafala for Kurt Warner and Quadri Ismail. What do you think?
I can't spell those names. I'm sorry, Mark.
How about Smith?
Emmett Smith?
No, I've got Robert Smith and Drew Bledsoe for Warner and Ishmael.
Deal.
Done deal.
Sucker.
Fool. All right. Excuse me a second. I got to make my picks, fellas. I haven't been doing so good. It was a bad week, but I'm still 50% of my upset picks, and that's not bad. This week, I'm going with the Dolphins over Seattle. I'll take Doug Flutie's Chargers, exacting revenge on his former Bills. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys, and my upset special, my apologies to Chicago for picking against you again, but I'm taking the Niners over the Bears. Let me recap. Dolphins, Cardinals, Chargers, Niners. And the good news for you fellas is I'm taking the Diamondbacks to knock off the Yankees.
No. Didn't you pick the Mets to knock the Yankees off last year?
Yeah.
Hey, don't do us any favors.
All right, before we go, you guys want to say hello to JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, JB.
Hey, JB. I'm Jimmy Kimmel, and those are my picks.
Did he call me G-Bay? G-Bay? G-Bay. Okay. Jimmy Kimmel has his fantasy football league, but we have our own version of fantasy football, and it's called Porsche Performance Report. Terry won last week. He leads our league.
That's right.
But, hey,
I tell you, a flea can pull a plow. Hit him up,
you
baby.
picked the Colts.
Who cares? I won the points. They lost, but I didn't go by the loss. I went by the points.
They scored 17.
Big boy, you're up.
You didn't do much better.
I'm taking the Rams because I know even up 52-7, Mike Martz will kick an onside kick and get me more points.
And I guarantee you, y'all, there's that old story in the Bible, David and Goliath. And my what? My little David is Doug Flutie, and they're going to take care of the Bills big time
Chris.
today.
I'm taking the Broncos because that's all there is left.
Wow. Hey, you know, Howie used to own a slant nose Porsche. One of you guys will be getting a Porsche Boxster at the end of the season to give to your favorite charity. What's the deal?
What's the slant? No, I don't understand. What's the
Slant nose Porsche?
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
He said, don't worry about it. We'll explain it to him during the commercial. All right. Speaking of performance, Dante Culpepper has certainly picked up his. Dante escaped an early season purgatory by throwing and running for a TD in Minnesota's win over Green Bay. We'll rap about Terry's guy, Flutie, after this.
And Tom Brady, he's posted some big numbers. You're the Broncos today. How do you stop him?
Well, this guy is poised, he's patient, and he can handle pressure well. But if I know Ray Rhodes, he's going to blitz him on odd downs, first and third down. He tried to blitz Flutie last week, but the cornerbacks didn't stand up. The cornerbacks must show up to play the game today.
So put a lot of pressure.
You got to blitz this young guy.
Rhodes, the defensive coordinator, is going to do that, you feel, today for
Yes,
Denver.
sir.
All right, Deion, let me turn over here to Jerry now. You saw the Patriots a lot in the preseason. Did you think Brady would be this kind of player if he was given the chance?
I don't think any Patriot fan is surprised, but I think it's the coaching staff. When Brady goes in there, the entire game plan changes. They go to the running game. They run Antoine Smith. The pass protection gets better because they're running the football. He'll be successful because when you got Drew Bledsoe, it's like going to candy dish. You want to throw all the time. I did that with Warren Moon. You get greedy. Now they don't do that.
Well, before we put Tom Brady in the Hall of Fame like we do every single week, one of these skilled guys, I want to tell you the key to the game is the Denver offensive line. When the Denver Broncos win, they run the ball. What a shock. 165 yards a game. When they lose, about 75 yards a game. Denver, run the ball. You beat Brady. You beat the Patriots.
I don't think anybody understands what a day David Patton had. I mean, you could go back a long time in this league. Guy scores 4 touchdown runs, passes, catches. This guy's the real deal. Now, I'll tell you what, he's going to have a big day. He's a different. And he comes to work with a smile on his face. He appreciates his job because he used to carry.
Why aren't you smiling? He likes Walter Payton.
Absolutely.
Is he going to have a big day today, Patton? A lot of catches, you think?
He'll have more than you said, and I already took a bet on that.
A reminder, thank you, Marcus. You can find out how your team is doing with live fantasy football scoring and updates at cbs.sportsline.com or via AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Coming up, our coaches diagnose the Ravens' problems and offer their prescriptions for what seems to be ailing the Super Bowl champs when the NFL Today continues live from New York in a moment.
Congratulations to our Staples Coach of the Week, Mike Riley of the San Diego Chargers. Last Sunday, Doug Flutie threw 2 second-half touchdowns to Jeff Graham in the victory over Denver. Our winning school is Pacific Beach Elementary School.
The Chargers mean business this year, so look out!
They'll receive $5,000 in school supplies, courtesy of Staples. Enter today at NFL.com.
When it comes to food, a lot of places have silly ideas to bring you in. But once you get to the taste, where's the fresh? Hey, Clucky, want something made fresh? Come on. Try one of the new Subway Selects made on fresh-baked gourmet bread. Susie?
Right, Tim. Subway's got 4 new Subway Selects, like the delicious horseradish steak and cheese, all on fresh-baked gourmet bread and all made.
Time that he didn't like it, but you know, he's entitled to his opinion.
What was Doug's response to the West Coast offense?
He seemed fine with it. You know, he did indicate that, you know, he likes to play the way he plays.
For 6 long hours, both quarterbacks met separately with the new administration to talk about topics ranging from the new West Coast offense to the dreaded quarterback controversy.
Well, I discovered that neither one of them pretty much cared for each other.
I think they just asked if I liked them or how we got along. And I told them when he was playing, we didn't have that big of a problem. The problem came when they made the switch. I think what I play for and what he plays for is totally different. Personally, why I don't play for, you know, awards. I don't play for interviews. I don't play for that stuff.
And Doug does play for those things.
I don't know if he does, but I perceive it that way.
For Rob Johnson, escape from his Buffalo nightmare could have been simple.
Based on what he had gone through, it would have been much easier for him to say, you know, pick Doug and let me go. I'd rather go somewhere else.
I think whoever got cut was going to San Diego. I could have come into, you know, the interview and told him to whatever, you know, and just been a real jerk.
He really took to it. He basically told Greg, whatever you want me to do, I'm on board with it. You know, if you want me to move here, if you want me to buy a house here, whatever.
I wanted to be here. I like the guys on this team. I love the organization.
No one likes to be slighted for someone else. But once the decision was made, you move on. And I think that's what both Rob and I have done.
Quarterback fraternity is usually pretty tight. You guys usually mingle on the field before or after games. You and Doug mingling this weekend, huh?
I don't like doing that stuff. And I talked to Mark last week, because I know Mark Brunell, and I know Doug, but I don't expect us to be mingling and hanging out. I don't have anything to say to him. He probably doesn't have anything to say to me.
I thought you were going to go over and pat him on the rear end.
I'm going to give him a slap. I mean, I don't have any hard feelings towards the guy, but I mean, we just, you know, it was a tough situation, and, you know, I can't say I wish him the best.
Now, Johnson understands the dynamics here. He knows he's got to win the change of perception. But Donahoe and Williams found out there was difference between perception and reality, like that Johnson's hurt all the time. Well, Flutie in his last year missed more practice time, more games than Rob Johnson because of injuries. Or that Flutie's a better scrambler than Johnson. Johnson actually is a better rusher, had more yards and more yards per carry. Obviously, Flutie, better pocket presence. But they really feel this guy's competitive, he's a student of the game, and he's the right guy for their vision. It's a young team. They wanted to go ahead with a younger quarterback who fit what they were doing.
I think they made it based on a lot on physical qualities, too, just taller and stronger and all those kinds of things. There's a lot of animosity here that maybe I didn't even sense until I watched your piece, but I've been through this quarterback situation a lot, and if this is the end of the story, then the beginning of the end of the story was a couple years ago when Doug Flutie was replaced by Rob Johnson in that wild card game in an awkward position, and they broke the cardinal rule of quarterback controversy: never play the younger guy. Let the older guy play his way out, and that's what they did wrong. And since then, it's been a problem. You know, you took Doug Flutie, you're taking your team to the playoffs, and all of a sudden you're taking him out. It's been awkward ever since.
Well, the big question is, can they be the 49ers? In other words, by that is a year and a half later, can they bounce up? Will Rob Johnson not have lost so much or be physically hurt so that he's there when their players are around? Do we think he can do that? I do.
I think Tom Donahoe's pretty good at what he does, and I do believe that Rob Johnson, once the offensive line settles down and the running game settles down, that Rob Johnson will be okay.
I think that's true. Rob's been through the toughest part of it now. Now, with this game, I think maybe Monday morning, the Bills will say, okay, this is the beginning of this new era.
Absolutely.
It's over, and move on. I think Rob will do just fine.
It's tough to win a popularity contest with Doug Flutie.
No. The best thing is time and to move on. Of course, they could win today, but meanwhile, Doug Flutie's brought to San Diego exactly what they knew he would bring. Winning. By the way, San Diego may not have Junior Seau today with a groin injury. We'll see the Chargers.
Tampa.